Anyway, starting off, we all knew that graphics card prices were coming down, but the average GPU price has halved since January of this year. So we knew the prices and the floor was just going to fall out from underneath GPUs when the mining crash eventually happened. And we all knew it was on the horizon. We all knew it was probably an inevitability this year. But how suddenly and how quickly it actually crashed. And I mean, this chart kind of says everything. Average MSRP over time. You can see $315 cards back in 2019 fell all the way to $267 on average, and then rose to $1,077 at their peak in Q3 2021. But we've been on the decline really since Q4 of 2021, but you can see the massive decline since then. We're not quite back down to 2019 level pricing, but I think that is more a symptom of GPUs themselves simply being more expensive. And I've talked about this a couple of times where NVIDIA has been stepping up their tiers as far as pricing segments go. The 60 series used to be your $220, entry to low mid-level graphics card. The 70 series used to be somewhere around $350 to $400, and the 80 series used to be, $500 or $600. And then you got your Titans, which could go all the way to $1,000, but even that was kind of rare. Starting with Turing, we started seeing that 80 series jump up a couple $100 to $799 instead of $599. We saw the 700 or the 70 series jump up a couple $100. The 60 series jumped up a couple $100. Even the 50 series, with the non-RTX cards, the GTX 1660 and so on, those were still pushing $300, $350 in most cases. And we're seeing the same thing again with Ampere-based cards, where the 60 series is selling for $400. That's double the price of what that same tier of graphics card was just 2.5 years ago. So I don't think this is quite the accurate chart as far as the average MSRP, because the prices of GPUs themselves for the bang for buck that you get is actually much more expensive these days. Now, they're faster cards, but obviously they're faster cards.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
except for the RX 6500.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is also just really nice to see. Even I'm seeing more availability. Price cuts are going down. It's still not like what it was. It's quite obvious, but yes, that 1077. That was early last year, and man, I mean, we were talking about that for a long time. It's ridiculous. I think, although you probably bought it around the 940 time, or when did you buy your cards?
I don't want to talk about it.
It was like the tier.
I don't want to talk about it. If I had to put it on the map, I bought my RX 6900 XT right here in Q1, and I bought my RTX 3090 in Q3. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. I don't want to talk about those prices right now.
You're like, I could have bought a used car for my daughter. Yeah,
actually, yes. I could have bought a daily driver for what I paid for those two cards combined. Not a beater, but like a nice 2011 sedan. I paid Chevy Cruze money. Yeah, I think my eBay totals were $2,700 for the 3090 and $1,699 for the RX 6900 XT. Now, I needed those cards for specific projects, and at the time, because I'm not necessarily the biggest name GPU reviewer, and I was asking later into the cycle when it's like, yeah, we don't have any cards at all. We're not getting press cards anymore. So literally no one could find me anything. I mean, this was the time that even Linus couldn't get cards. He would ask for a review sample or had a project, and they're like, "We have nothing to sell you."
Yeah.
So,
you have to return it. Oh,
yeah.
no, we can't.
Yeah. All the GPU reviews that I did last year, I had like 3 or 4 different AMD cards, and I think I did one NVIDIA card. All of those were loaners, which is weird for this industry. Usually OEMs want you to keep the card so you can use it multiple times over the course of 6 months or a year, use it in a build or two, do a comparison video like 6 months or a year from now.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, can you do a one-off review and then return it is really, really bizarre.
Please don't break it. Don't overclock it. Don't do anything. Just benchmark it. That's all you get to do.
Right.
And,
it was really fun because we always tear apart cards, and so if you're the third one on the list, it's like, yeah, I need to put new memory pads on this one.